penetrated on 9/11. People can see through my eyes, not just the Americans. I took the coin down before it happened. It was too late, the die had been cast. I felt so guilty when this happened. I tried to become a Christian and gave most of my money to a church. They knew that it was going to happen umpteen years before it happened. It's mentioned in several songs. Soup is good food by the Dead Kennedys says at the end of the song, rats, the human rodent shuffle. I was born in the year of the rat. At least we get a dignified cremation about 9/11. I didn't get a dignified cremation. But enough about myself. Then there's another DK song, Chemical Warfare, where he goes, mowing down, down, down the buildings, sensitive to the touch. And those buildings did seem awfully sensitive. I heard George Bush doesn't accept his presidential retirement money and cleans the streets for free now. It's guilty there, George, over 9/11 in Iraq. Slayer mentioned it too in Here Comes the Pain, which came out on the day of 9/11. I've got them in enough trouble already there. Even Bob Dylan mentioned it back in the 60s before that had even been built, where he says, better stay away from those who hang around the fire hose. I think you can get that, can't you? Leechworth also says, I smoke liquor and drink weed. The Lord rehearsed my birth, I'm the worst breed. Supposedly since 1824, people have been collecting info about me in the future. So the Lord rehearsed my life, like how Avril says, lay back, it's all been done before. Another rapper who did a song about me was 50 Cent. The song Places to Go is about how I wouldn't go to jail for robbing the bank. There's the line, there's a genie in that bottle of Dom Perignon. I'm going to drink till I get to that bitch, about Avril. And then she's going to introduce me to the world. In the hood they feel my shit. And at the end he says, AC, you be doing fine, as in Antichrist. Coming to punk rock, there's a band only Australians mainly know about called Radio Birdman. The name itself is about me. Radio because my mind's like a radio picking up God's dreams, and Birdman from the Epic of Gilgamesh, where his arms are thin like a bird's. Sadly, I have very thin arms. Anyway, the leader of this band, Dennis Tech, I think has studied my life more than anyone ever else has, and done the most to damage my happiness with his lyrics, one song in particular. Literally all Radio Birdman songs are about me. Songs like What Gives, it compares me to Hans Riedel, the Nazi Stuka dive bomber pilot, and Hitler. Not many know that. They are a great band though, still one of the first bands I ever loved as a young teenager. And the guy Dennis Tech is a genius too, supposedly. He's a surgeon, an ex-Navy Top Gun pilot, and lead guitarist, main songwriter for the band. In the song Lennon's Golden Helmet, towards the end, he says, having different kinds of fun with 14 ancient nuns. That's supposed to be Avril's character in my best novel, Nobody's Home, which I wrote after seeing her video for the song Nobody's Home. Her character starts at age 14, and nuns because she's a virgin, but I have different kinds of fun with her character in the story, as hopefully you'll soon read. After that it goes Under Circling Suns with his wonderful collection of guns. These guns are my novels and movie script. Then he's the top man in the language department 4 times. Yes, I do think I'm the best philosopher writer in history. Even God told me before I started to write my second novel, I dreamt you will write in the hand of Nietzsche, the greatest man who ever lived. So I guess that means Nietzsche and me are going to be viewed as the greatest philosophers. I could go on for ages about Radio Birdman songs, but I won't. When people read my novel, Nobody's Home, they'll lose their fucking minds, especially men. But as Jim Morrison said, the men don't know, but the little girls understand. Then you're going to have to grow the fuck up before I forget about this point. Eminem wrote the song Just Lose It about my book Nobody's Home. Guys are going to lose it more than the females. Because you're also fucking conservative and lie to yourselves. Like where Eminem says, I done touched on everything but little boys. I won't explain any further, but you'll have to wait and see. But when you'll be reading my novels and seeing my movie, you'll be on LSD or psilocybin, so you get used to it. Moving on, there's more mainstream music like Franz Ferdinand, in which he did the song The Fallen About Me and Avril. Did I see you in a limousine? Fling out the fish in the unleavened. So they say you're troubled, boy, just because you like to destroy all the things that bring the idiots joy. What's wrong with a little destruction? So you rob a supermarket or two, to the bank. You are the word is destroy. There's going to be some challenging changes to go through. Then there's the Chicks. I'll just talk about Avril's music. The song that started it was Skater Boy. Can I make it any more obvious? What more can I say? This blew me away at the time. She was the hottest thing I'd ever seen at the time. The songs on her first 3 albums are all about me. But even after that, she did a few more, like I Fell in Love with the Devil and Wish You Were Here and Rock and Roll. There's the song Hot, where she goes, now you're in, you can't get out. And there's the song Contagious, about my philosophies coming into use. She says, it's so contagious, I cannot get it out of my mind. It's so outrageous. You make me feel so fine. And you'll see it is outrageous, but it's contagious. Soon we'll love it. I won't go into depth into all her lyrics. You can listen to her first 3 albums. You realise they're all about me and you begin to understand them. The only other female figure worth mentioning is Orianthi, I've already mentioned. Her song Filthy Blues is about the sexuality of females. And in the bridge of the song, she whispers audibly, talent is his drug, America's Antichrist. I want you inside of me, that's how I like it. Gotta go, I love you. So I think Ori's up for it. I want her to be my lead guitarist in my band. I think that's enough about music for now. Now let's talk more about dreams and visions. Before it even started, I had a full-on vision appear in front of me, and I wasn't even on anything at the time. I looked at my friend about 15 feet away, turn into a 7-foot-tall black knight in armour. A true hallucination, not something you'd see on acid. Then the knight turned into an 18th century man, who I later realised was the Marquis de Sade, where the Beatles song Sexy Sadie comes from. It took me years to figure out what this meant until I read Charles Dickens, where he said a philosopher is a man in armour or something. So I'm the black philosopher, the Sexy Sadie, although I hate violence, unlike Sade, except for some S&M sex or rough sex. When this happened, I should have realised that I was in big trouble. Things like that just don't happen to average people. Something else I'll just mention at this point. The number of the beast, 666, is really 999, as in 1999, like in Hendrix's If 6 Was 9. Then later, when I was getting dreams every night, I had a dream where I was looking at a baby being circumcised, and on the baby had Freud's head, Sigmund Freud's head on the baby, and he was screaming in pain. Then this voice in my dream said, I told you I was a sadist. God, basically. Why do people cut off boys' foreskins? Sounds like something someone's grandma came up with. I recently found out from my mother that my grandmother wanted me circumcised as a baby. But luckily for me, the hospital I was born at refused to do circumcisions. So no skin off my nose, thanks. And the despicable act of female circumcision happening in the Muslim world is disgusting. I reckon Arab countries should have spies investigating these men who are cutting off girls' clits and have their balls cut off and put in jail for 20 years. It's really disgusting and unacceptable. Religious people are freaked out by female sexuality. They can't believe a woman would want more than missionary position sex once a week. And the men won't even go down on them and make them come. God help a woman that wants satisfaction. I think men are hopeless. There should be lessons for young guys explaining the correct way to eat pussy and make your woman come. If you can make a girl come, she'll put up with all kinds of bullshit and continue to want sex from you. I've been in the White House with George Bush in dreams, discussing what's going down. I recently had a dream with Donald and Melania Trump, and I gave Trump a meat cleaver. I think this was this. Speaking of meat, God wants us to become vegetarians eventually. It might take a while, but God said to me in a dream, I want no ripping guts, or no rest in peace of animals in guts. Most people won't like this probably, but I haven't told you the good shit I'm replacing food joy with. At this point, I'm moving into the telling about what I want from world leaders and society. It all depends on the happiness of first world people. Us lucky people that live in rich Western countries. For I'd ask the first world to help the starving and poor and homeless. That's way too much to ask until we make the first world people very happy. Then they'll give happily, because you can only really give happily if you're happy. You won't want to help anyone if not. You'll think this is strange maybe, but the government needs to give us drugs, particularly cannabis, psychedelics, cocaine and speed. Every adult in the first world should be able to buy a gram of cocaine and half a gram of speed a week, mainly for sex or whatever you're into. Once people start experiencing ecstasy of sex on cocaine and meth, I reckon in 3 months, the people would be so happy and satisfied they'd give away a lot of money to charity. I've only ever had one line of cocaine. It was fucking great. You feel unbelievable. Why do you think Pablo Escobar made $80 billion? It wasn't because cocaine is shit or makes you feel bad. It's fucking great. If you had an ounce supply of it, you'd fuck yourself up. So it and speed had to be doled out in measure. The psychedelics are great for a different reason. It's very difficult to find your spirit without LSD or psilocybin, magic mushrooms and others. You can only really do it with meditation and breathing rituals. Without drugs, and that's difficult. Sex too on these substances is great, especially when they're wearing off. Psychedelics are like rocket fuel for the spirit. You'll think and philosophize like you never have before on these substances. Then there's cannabis. The cannabis plant was a gift from God to the human race. Fuck smoking cigarettes. Smoke weed. Much healthier, and it makes you feel good. I still mix tobacco with weed because I can't lung it without tobacco. But it's just so much better than cigarettes. I don't even know if smoking weed causes cancer. If you don't go berserk, you should be fine. I can't be more serious about the necessity of first world people needing a few doses of LSD and mushrooms, plus access to a little cocaine and speed for enjoyment. If you don't like speed, don't have it. There's really nothing wrong with speed if you don't abuse it. The good thing about speed is it lasts a lot longer than coke, and it also is great for sex. Viagra is also good, it makes your dick swell up more. Now I want to talk about happiness some more.